Hi, during my master's degree, I got an interesting project to do, and I thought about sharing my results with you guys by making this simple tutorial series. In the first video, I will talk about the basics. We will be using two servers, both running RHEL. RHEL is a distribution based on Red Hat. If you are familiar with Fedora, Centos, or Almalinux, then you will know what I'm talking about, and I think you are not the target audience, because you probably have even more knowledge than me in this area. Yet. I want these tutorials to aim at people who have relatively little to no experience and don't feel comfortable with the Linux environment. Given the number of distributions and their subtle differences, I'm not surprised by their reluctance at all. For this reason, the implemented solutions may differ on Ubuntu or Debian, but those systems are more profiled for workstations than servers are hopefully out for our scope. We will be using Rocky due to the fact that those videos will be more future-proof by comparing to Centos, which support will expire in a few years. Further videos related to this project will be published weekly. I will try to include hyperlinks to the materials on which I am relying in the description, so that you will know what I am actually using and can refer to them when implementing your own ideas. So what is the objective of our project? I need to propose a server-client solution taking into account the following needs. Configuration of server, fixed and client dynamic network interface. Support for both IP4 and IP6 versions, DHCP, Dynamic Host Control Protocol. And I think we will use DNS mask for this because it is simple to implement, and we will also configure the DNS domain for ourselves. Sharing resources in the network, for example files. For this, we will create a simple environment for us by using Samba. We will see then how file and directory sharing looks like. Central management of users, groups, and computers. For example, Active Directory. For now, we will not be using FreeIPA in this tutorial, although it would be great for this purpose. But it would be also a major overkill. I think for our configuration, where there is only one master server and a client, we will use a network information service, NIS. And we will try to log in with an account that has not been created on the other machine through it. Security firewall and achieving solutions for data stored by users. From a security point of view, I think at this stage the implemented SLAS is up to the challenges of our local network. We can play around a bit with audited and archive logs from a selected directory, even so often with a script executed in crontab. Installation and use of additional production tools. Well, that's what I usually struggle with on a daily basis. We will create a simple Nagios environment in which we will monitor the selected service on the client server and check wherever the client server itself, for example, had exploded. Hi, I am Voice from the future. In general, I have already finished this project, and I can say that there was a problem with dynamic addressing for IPv6, so we only operate on IPv4. RHEL 9 has withdrawn support for NIS. For that reason, I used OpenLDAP. In OpenLDAP itself, it's lucky that curl doesn't allow self-signed SSL authentication and doesn't trust my domain. Disabling TLS verification doesn't allow an encrypted connection over LDAPs. Generally, in the future, when I would have more time, perhaps I will be able to solve those problems, or maybe I can figure it out with you guys somehow. I think it's quite important to be transparent and not hide the fact that something didn't work out as planned, and the learning itself is often based on trying to solve such unexpected problems. After this lengthy introduction, I can get down to the installation of RHEL 9 on VirtualBox. If there would appear a need, I will do a separate VirtualBox installation, but currently I have several servers already on it, and I am afraid that before the exam something could give unexpected and unpleasant results, so I prefer not to risk. We are going to the RHEL website, where we can download our system image by clicking on DVD. Then from VirtualBox we click on Tools, then the blue multi-pointed star sign, and press New. A new window will appear. In the first field we enter a name. For me it will be a Rocky 9 server. We select the location where the machine will be placed. By default the location will be on drive C. I have changed this path earlier. Select the ISO image of our system from the folder where it was downloaded. If the image is correct, then the type and version should be shown like this. Check skip unintended installation to skip the automatic configuration on the VirtualBox site. As we will have two machines, I think we can allocate 2 GB of RAM and 2 CPU threads for each. In case of problem for the main server, we will increase its memory to 4 GB. I think we can leave 20 GB for the hard drive. The requirements for Rocky will be similar for the Red Hat equivalent, so I will leave link for it in the description to compare. When finished in the wizard, config with finish button and start the machine. The installation start window will appear, and then click enter. Choose a language. As I do not plan to teach you Polish in this course, we choose American because it's more popular than English. Check the layout of the keyboard to avoid the possibility of typing something incorrectly. We then select our 20 GB drive as the primary drive. You won't be messing around with changes at the moment. We are creating a super secure password for our root account and we confirm it. Start the installation. After 6 minutes it should be over. Reboot the server. Wait another 3 minutes. Introduction menu will appear. We create our user. My username will be called Grabim because it sounds almost like an admin and part of my surname. Once the user configuration is complete, we will see another introduction. We skip it. We can check now if the terminal starts up by typing the simple echo. If it works, then congratulations, you have just set up your RHEL 9 server. Okay, that's all for now. See you next week. Or hear me next week? I don't know.